video with the look at my colors before I get started. I tried Premixed pigments a couple of times, and then I tried mica powder from Hippie Crafter a couple of times, and then this little Piggy pigments came in from Fluid Art Company, and I selected these three Piggies in Frost, Lemon Sorbet, and Fairy Floss. And I noticed that in my videos so far, I think maybe I haven't used enough pigment because like the GAC 800 kind of dries clear, and so then the pigment is just kind of left in sparkles instead of actually looking like a paint. I know other artists have used different pouring mediums to use pigments, but this time what I wanted to try was, I've seen someone use alcohol to kind of dissolve the pigment, like isopropyl alcohol to dissolve the pigment before you mix it with your pouring medium, and it was a different mix, but I decided to try using airbrush medium since that's what I used to thin my consistencies. I used airbrush medium with these to just kind of disperse the pigment first, and it became like an inky looking little something, and then I poured the GAC 800 in and stirred, and then I added some more and stirred again and did it a third time, just to add it a little bit at a time. And I think that it worked out a lot better this time. But then what happened, I know this is just my intro, but what happened, it looked like the silver and the white kind of dispersed, and it's kind of patchy or spotty in the piece. But you'll see that later in the dry result or the close-up, but I just wanted to talk about it here. I think what I've learned in the process is that if I'm going to use these with GAC 800, or even thin them initially with airbrush medium just to kind of disperse all the pigment before I make a paint out of it, then I'm gonna have to thin my pre-mixed pouring paints, and I can do that with the airbrush medium as well. So that's probably what I'm going to try next time to see how it comes out. But again, just enjoy this one with Frost, Lemon Sorbet, Fairy Floss, White, and Silver. And I'll be right back with the creation part. close up and show you the details. I really like how this one looks from far away. I didn't have quite enough of a base coat down, I guess, because my paint didn't spread very well over the sides, so I really had to touch up the sides a lot more than I expected. I love how this gives me sunset vibes, but I've noticed that there are sections where like part of the paint started to dry. It was taking me so long to fix the sides, and then this is all separated here. I still haven't gotten to where I know how to mix these pigments right. They're very thin, and I think they're thinner than the pouring paint. See those chunks? Those look like white paint skins like separating in there. It's just, it looks like clouds, and I really like the overall effect, but also at the same time you can just tell there's something not quite right here. And then I made a lot of green, I guess, with that yellow and blue together, which I didn't intend. So I haven't figured out the best way to mix these paints yet. But overall, even though it has mistakes, I do like the overall effect. I can't wait to see what it looks like dry outside in the sun. You can see some of that shimmer right there. I don't know if that's from the pigments or if it's from the silver or what it is, but I like the overall effect. It is going to be very textured, and maybe it may crack because you can see that white paint's definitely different than the rest of the paint. It's even different than the silver. It was just thicker. I guess whenever I do these, I need to also thin down my pouring paints because they are thicker than the pigment mixes that I'm getting. So I need to pour some of those into little cups and put some airbrush medium and thin them down so that like the consistencies all match. But this does look like a sunset and clouds. I just hope that this doesn't like peel off. You can see where that, it looks like that white paint is drying and looks like it's a skin, and that's what that looks like. But I don't know if resin could cover that and even the texture out. Maybe I'll varnish it a few times first and then attempt to resin over top. It's really pretty with the colors. It just looks like a sunset, so hopefully it dries okay and doesn't look really bad whenever it dries. But let me know what you think. Thanks as always for watching. I will do the dry result next, and I may check it with a black light, but this one probably won't react. Okay, I want to go in and try to show you the details up close of this. The setting sun is over to my right, so it's kind of lighting this spot right now. All of those little pieces that look like dark chunks, that's the silver. The silver, and then the white itself has like gotten kind of crusty looking. I didn't like that at first because that's not supposed to happen. That's like a mistake because the textures weren't the same between my pigments and my actual paints, but it gave it this really neat looking cloudy effect with some like glittery overlay. So I actually really like how it turned out. But that's the silver paint. There's little globs there. And that's the white paint that I used. I think what I need to do, since whenever I mix my pigments, it's very thin, I think I need to thin down my actual paints that I use too. Hold on, let me turn it upside down. I think it looks really nice either way. I don't like it sideways. I don't like it this way. And I don't like it this way. But I like it was this the second way, I think. I like it this way or the opposite way. So I'll show you again. Just looks like clouds and glitter, and that silver is kind of darker than the rest of the stuff, so it just makes me think of like those dark, deep gray clouds right before it rains. And this whole piece, sorry. Sorry, there's always someone going by. But this whole piece makes me think of like a sunrise or a sunset with the colors, the way they fade together. And how it's just very pastel and muted looking with the clouds and evidently the gray fog or something. It just reminds me of a sunrise or a sunset. I really like this one. I can't wait to try again. I want to use more of this little Piggy Pigments. This one probably won't be blacklight reflective, but I'm going to check. If it is, that video will be next. But if not, thanks as always for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye. I didn't even expect this one to be blacklight reactive. I don't know if it's that fairy floss one that's reactive, or if it's the white, or what it is, but I think it looks really interesting. It looks kind of patchy, like it's rough right there, but I think that those spots are where the where the silver paint kind of came apart, and there are some white patches where the white paint came apart whenever it's in normal lighting. So that might just be that silver metallic from the paint. I think I need to thin my normal paint consistencies whenever I use it with these powders, because I make my paint with the powders very thin. But this is what it looks like with the black light. I wasn't expecting this at all, but I really love it. It makes me think of like a world of ancient gods or something, like Mount Olympus or something. Let me know what you think, and thanks as always for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye. Okay, first I'll do this with the light on, and then I may do this with the lights off. I can't remember how I did it with the last piece, but I saw someone on Facebook who put a lamp behind their painting, see there, and backlit their painting, and the pictures looked really nice. It brings out different effects in the piece, so I wanted to try it with this. I don't have the flash on my phone either, so I'll do another clip with that too, with the flash, and then I'll do it both ways with the lights off as well. This looks like, makes me think of like a big cat laying down, or like an Egyptian queen maybe, but it like makes me think of cats and Egypt. This part right here, like I don't know, you can see the line down from that, you can see the line of the pour. I noticed that in the painting, in the next painting that I did as well. Whenever it dried, you can notice the line of the pour. I think it's because my base coat wasn't thinned to match the consistency of the paints that I poured with. With this one, you can see some of these chunks, like right here. These were the premixed pouring paints. And then here, where it's just flush with the canvas, that was where I used the mica powders that I made with Airbrush Medium and GAC 800. A lot of people, I think, would be really upset with that, the way that you can see, like right here, you can see this line, and this is how you can definitely tell, I know, that's where I poured out the paint from the cup. But I don't mind it at all. I think it adds a new depth of meaning and story to the painting. If you look at it as if it's its own little world inside this painting, and all these creatures live in this world, that just makes me think of water as it runs through the world, or something else. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to stop really quickly because someone didn't know I was recording and started talking very close to me, and I didn't want to end the video. But I think that maybe it's water, maybe it's, I don't know what it is in this piece specifically, those lines, but I love how it adds more story to the world that I've created in this piece, and the next one is like that too. And since I know that it does that, I can do one of two things. I can remember that it does that and pour intentionally, so that the designs that I make with my pour come out how I want them to, or how I hope for them to. I could thin my base coat as well. I could try not using a base coat and see what happens with that. I guess so there's more than two things I could do. But for now, I'm just happy with how it came out. I love this one so much. I love backlighting the piece. I didn't see this story in it with that person laying there or anything. It reminds me of a sunrise or a sunset, definitely. The whole piece does. But I didn't see what I see in it right now. So I'll go in and show you the details. And then, like I said, I'll do a couple other clips, one with the flash on my phone, and then I'll do two with the light off, one with and one without the flash. If the one without the flash doesn't show up with the lights off, then I won't add that one. But I'll just go in and let you look at the details one more time. You can see that sparkle from the silver, I think. Are those little spots that look like little white spots? Those are either part of the micas or part of the silver. Here's where you're starting to notice the lines of the pour a little bit more, or where I am. I think maybe that's because there wasn't as much coming out of it as there was at first on the top. I think that's why I don't notice it as much at the top as I do at the bottom. There was less paint, so it made more of an effect. Or maybe this was the first part and this is where there was more paint, and then maybe I don't notice it as much where there wasn't as much paint. That might make sense too. I can kind of see a little bit at the top too. So that's something to experiment with. I can see whether that's from the end of the cup where there's more paint, so that it has more pressure to go down through and create that line, or maybe it's at the end where I don't have quite as much paint left. I don't know. But I will show you the couple other clips. This just looks amazing to me. I love this. I love this piece so much. This little part here reminds me of someone like floating on their back, pointing, like shooting a gun up towards the person, like laying there sleeping or something. Maybe it's Cupid, like shooting an arrow towards the person sleeping, or shooting good luck, because I see something that looks like a little horseshoe from back there. I don't know. Someone's sending, maybe it's like an image, a representation of your spirit team or your loved ones or your spirit guides sending you good luck and positivity in your dreams. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And I'll be right back with those other clips. Here it is with the flash on my phone. That's nice for bringing out the shimmer and the shine and the sparkle and everything, but I think it makes it harder to see, maybe from a distance. Let me go in and just show it to you. See if you can see the sparkle from the silver and stuff. It just makes it almost too hard to see. It's very pretty and it's very shiny, but the flash just makes it a little bit too hard to see. Okay, I turned all of the other lights in here out, but that lamp is just really bright, so it doesn't look a whole lot different. It is hard to see with the flash on the phone, so I'll go quickly just so you can see like the shimmer and the colors and the dimension in the painting. I love this piece so much. Here's the last clip. I turned all the lights off and I turned my flash off. It looks very similar to the first one that I did. Because this lamp is so bright, I didn't really need that overhead light to make any difference. You can hear my dog in the background. She's getting very impatient and being in here with me. I do love whatever this brings out in this piece though. Let me know what you think. This should be the last clip. I may add some pictures or collages to the end of the YouTube version. I'm not sure. But let me know what you think. Thanks as always for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye.